Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me in practice today. One blanket might be useful for our practice together, as well as 2 blocks or a stack of sturdy books. And if you don't have either the blocks or the books available, no worries, but I would definitely recommend a blanket at the very least. So go ahead and grab your props, come to your mat, and we'll get started. So today you'll start in a comfortable seat. This is where the blanket might come in handy. You can fold up your blanket and come to sit on it so you have a little bit of a lift. And if you're there and it's okay, you can cross your ankles, come into a cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. But if that's not comfortable, you can extend your legs out long with your heels to the floor. You could also bend one knee in, extend one leg long. Knees bent, feet to the floor is also fine. Whatever allows you to stay seated for a few minutes. And once you're in your comfortable seat, you'll come into a mudra or hand gesture. This one is called Lotus or Padma Mudra. And to take this mudra, bring your palms into prayer, so palms touch. Connect the heels of your hands, your pinkies and your thumbs all together. Then open your fingers and your palms out wide. So this connection between pinkies, thumb, and heel, but a nice opening and expansion from fingertips to your inner palms. Once you have your mudra, if it's comfortable and feels safe for you, you can start to close the windows of your eyes. Root down through your sits bones so you can find length up through the crown of your head. Sit nice and tall. Sit in a place where you can allow your breath to be full. Each inhale, fully expand through your entire torso, the collarbones, maybe even down to your hip points. And with each exhale, allow the breath to travel back out through the nostrils so your torso deflates back to neutral. So Lotus or Padma Mudra can help you to feel joy and start to notice and appreciate the beauty that surrounds you. So just like the beautiful lotus flower that grows in the muddiest and murkiest of waters, unaffected by what's going on around it, unaffected by the fact that it's literally growing in the mud, you too can grow and bloom beautifully despite what's happening in the world around you, around us. As community, as like on this collective level, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think that can cause for a lot of feelings of sadness. And honestly, we're all kind of experiencing this grief right now, this heaviness in our hearts, the sadness, especially if we know somebody directly affected by the circumstances in the world. Throughout practice, I encourage you, just try to feel good. This class is called Yoga for Joy because hopefully, as we move through some of the poses, you'll start to feel more joyous. And if any of these poses are getting in the way of you feeling more joyous, please don't do them. Only thing I want you to focus on is feeling joyful. Also trying to keep an open heart, open mind. Allow this practice to uplift you and connect your mind and body into harmony. So Carolyn Liesel explains that yoga asks one simple thing of us: to show up in mind, body, and spirit. Yoga doesn't just lift our spirits, it lifts our lives. It opens our eyes to the essence of who we are, and therein lies peace and happiness. Take a few more deep breaths here. Feeling your lotus flower bloom in front of your heart space. On your next inhale, close your palms. Palms come back together to touch. Bow your chin down towards your chest. And bring to mind one thing that you are grateful for in this moment. Inhale, slowly lift your gaze back towards the horizon. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, stretch both arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind for a twist. We're going to flow like this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left hand to right knee, right hand behind, twist. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, right hand, left knee, left hand behind for a twist. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, twist other side. So continue moving just like this. No matter what leg position you're in, your hand can come to your knee or your thigh. Start to sync breath and movement together. If you're comfortable, and close your eyes. Maybe they've stayed closed since our beginning of this practice, since the beginning of this practice. And then after the next time, you twist to the left. Come on back to center and release your hands down in front of your heart back to prayer. Anjali Mudra. Now start to interlace your fingers together to create a fist. And on your inhale, extend both arms up towards the sky. Flip your palms so the palms face up towards the sky. Hold here. Really reach, extend up through your arms, through your hands. Try to relax your shoulders down away from your ears. And widen your elbows as if you're trying to pull your fingers apart, but keep the fingers strongly interlaced. You're getting a lot of activation in the arms, the hands. Relax your shoulders down a bit more. And unleash the hands, stretch your arms. Fingertips can take a wiggle as they reach up towards the sky. Inhale here. Exhale, left hand to the earth, right arm stretches up overhead for a side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, right hand comes down, left arm stretches up and over, side stretch. Inhale, center. Exhale, left hand down, right arm stretches up and over. Inhale, center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm stretches up and over. Keep moving just like this, from side to side, to the rhythm of your own breath. After that, next time you go and flow towards the right, come on back to center. If you're in a cross-legged seat, or if your legs are out long, bend your knees, place your feet on the floor. If you're already there, you can stay. So we want the feet about 6 inches, a little more maybe, away from your seat. And then you want your hands back behind you, same thing, about 6 inches, maybe a little bit further back, as we set up for a reverse tabletop position. So the fingertips can either point towards your seat, they can point out towards the long edge of your mat, or they can turn towards the back of your mat, whichever feels most comfortable for your arms. Decide and make your way there. And start to press into your hands, press into your feet, lift your hips up, reverse table. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up, reverse table. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, press up, lift up, reverse table. Hold here. Maybe the knees, hips and shoulders come into line. Maybe your seat's a little lower, no worries. And I invite you to either keep your chin towards your chest or release it about halfway back behind you. I find it feels really weird for me to release it all the way back, but if you're really craving that, go for it. One more breath. Exhale, gently release your seat back down. Keep your knees bent, feet to the floor. Extend your right arm out in front of you. Palm faces up towards the sky. And start to turn your fingers down. Take your left hand, grab hold of the right fingers, and pull down and back on the fingers as you push through the heel of your right hand to get a nice wrist stretch. Release, flip the palm down, turn the fingers down, and then same thing, take the left hand to the fingers, pull down and back through the fingers. This time press out through the top of your wrist. Release, we'll switch, left arm out in front, palm faces up, fingers point down, right hand grabs hold. As you press out through the heel of your left hand, pull down and back through the fingers with your right hand. And then release, turn the palm down, fingers point down. Grab hold of those left fingers with the right hand. Press through the top of your wrist. Nice wrist stretch, other direction. And then release. Take a nice squeeze of your knees. Round your back slightly in this little hug. Next inhale, lift up. Make your way down onto hands and knees for your neutral tabletop. You can have your blanket beneath your knees. This is going to provide a little extra cushioning. And then have your wrists just slightly above your shoulders. This is going to take a little bit of pressure out of the wrists. Spread your fingers as wide as you can. Really root down through your fingertips. Knees are beneath your hips. And start to take some cat-cow movements. If you know where we're going, you can go ahead and start to move. If not, on an inhale, start to drop your belly slightly. Lift your tailbone and heart. Gaze goes up just a tad. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Press down through the earth. Continue just like that. Inhale, belly drops, tailbone, heart, gaze lifts. Exhale, round through your shoulders. Press into the earth as your tailbone drops. Gaze is beneath your thumbs or between your thumbs. Continue just like that a few more times. And sync the breath to movement. This is a major component of Vinyasa yoga practice, this more flowing yoga practice. And I find for me it's really beneficial. It starts to sync your mind and body. And it starts to become more of like a moving meditation, which I find for myself lowers stress. And when I feel less stressed, there's more space for joy. There's more space for gratitude, no matter what is going on in the world around me. More space to grow, to bloom, just like the lotus flower. Next time you come into cat, we'll come back to neutral, back to center. And start to reach the right leg back. You can either keep toes tucked under on the earth, or you can stretch the right leg up off of the earth. Stay here or lift the left arm out in front of you. Spinal balance. You have the option to stay here. Keep drawing your navel back towards your spine. Or you can bend your right knee. Reach back with your left hand for your right foot for a little heart opener. So if you find that you can grab your hand to your foot, press your foot into your hand back into your foot, and lift up. Arch back slightly. So you exhale, release the hand down, but keep the left leg lifted. Bend the left knee if it's not there already. Left foot faces up towards the sky. We're going to take 10 baby pulses up towards the ceiling. Try to keep your hips both face down towards the earth, and start to pulse. It's like you're making a footprint on the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Right knee down next to left. Give your hips a wiggle from right to left. Loosen out some tension that might have been created. And then we'll switch. So the left leg reaches back, toes tuck under, or lift the left leg up off the ground. Stay or extend your right arm out in front. Same option to stay with this pose, or bend your left knee, reach back for the left foot with your right hand. If you can make that hand to foot grab, press foot into hand, hand into foot, lift up, arch back slightly. Keep your breath going. Keep your belly button drawn back towards your spine and solid through your core. Next exhale, release the right hand back down. Keep the left leg lifted. Bend your left knee if it's not there already. Foot faces up towards the sky. Again, keep both hip bones pointed down on the earth as much as possible. And we'll start to take those pulses like a footprint on the ceiling. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Left knee comes back down. And give those hips a little wiggle. And take one more round of cat-cow. Nice and slow. Come back to neutral. Arch the tailbone up slightly, as if you're coming to cow. If your toes are not tucked under already, go ahead, tuck them under now. Walk your hands a little bit further out in front, and then lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. Once there, adjust your stance to what feels best in your body. Again, we're going for feel good, so you can create more space for joy. And you can move in any way that your body is asking for. Start to observe what it feels like to be in your body today. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, make your way into a forward fold. Feet can walk forward, hands can walk back, or a combination of the two. Once you get to that fold, stay for the exhale. On your inhale, lift up halfway. Bring your hands to the earth, to your shins, to your thighs as you find length through your spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Next, inhale, root to rise. Come up to stand. Stretch both arms up over your head. And as you exhale, bring your hands through into prayer, Anjali Mudra. And then come to your Padma Mudra, Lotus Mudra. Heels of the hands connect, as well as your pinkies and thumbs. And expand out through your inner 3 fingers on each hand. Back to your breath. And we'll come back to this mudra a few times throughout the practice as we connect back to joy and connect back to our intention of finding that joy and being able to see, notice, acknowledge, honor the beauty within and around us. As you exhale, release your hands down by your side. And if you're not at the top of your mat already, go ahead, make your way there. On your inhale, stretch both arms up over your head. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, find length. Exhale, deepen in. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold right back down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, stretch up to stand. Both arms reach towards the sky. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold in. This time, step 1 foot back at a time to downward facing dog. From your down dog, on your inhale, roll forward to plank pose and hold here. Option to drop your knees at any point. See if you can draw your belly button back towards your spine, engage through your core. Really press out through your heels, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Press, resist into your toes, into your hands. And then as you exhale, lower down to your belly, knees lifted or not. Once you're there, hands stay beneath shoulders, elbows tucked to your rib cage. Make sure the tops of your toes rest on your mat. Spread your toes really wide. On an inhale, draw your hands back, pull your heart through, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. One more inhale, lift up, baby cobra. This time, maybe lift your hands, stay here. One more inhale. Exhale, release down. Next, inhale, make your way up and back to downward facing dog, any way that feels best for you. Let's take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, open your mouth, let out a sigh. Inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Once there, bend your right knee. Stack right hip on top of your left and open up through the front of your right hip. Keep equal weight between both hands. Try to keep your shoulders even. Maybe roll through your ankle joint. Inhale, stretch your right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot comes forward. Lower your back knee down. This is again where the blanket might be nice. And then on your inhale, stretch both arms up overhead. Take another inhale here. As you exhale, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back for a twist. Arms are wide like a T. Chest is twisting towards the right, towards your front knee. And then stay here, or option to bring your right hand to your left thigh as you stretch your left arm up and back for a baby back bend. Stay rooted through your legs, stable through your core. And then slowly lift on up, stretch both arms up overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands onto the earth. You can either come up on fingertips, or this is where those blocks or books, maybe one book under each hand might come in handy. We'll take a flow. So inhale here in your lunge. Exhale, shift your hips back, straighten through the right leg. Press through your right heel, toes lift for half split. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, shift back, half split. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, come forward to your lunge, pull your heart through. Exhale, shift your hips back, half split. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, shift your hips back, half split. One more, inhale. And exhale. As you inhale, come back forward to your low lunge. You have the option to lift your back knee up off of the earth, or you can stay right where you are. On your inhale, stretch both arms up over your head. Exhale, sweep your arms back by your hips, chest comes towards your thigh. 2 more times. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, arms sweep back, chest comes forward. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms stretch up. And exhale, bring both hands to the inside of your right foot. You can widen your right foot out towards the right if you'd like. Option to keep that back knee lifted or come down as you come into lizard pose. Feel free to move here if that feels good, either from side to side or movements forward and back. You can stay up on your hands, or you can sink down to elbows. Maybe bring those books, your block, underneath. You can even bring them underneath your hands if this is feeling pretty intense. If you've come forward at all, start to lift up. Swing your right leg back, so your neutral tabletop. Back to that hands and knees pose. Start to walk your arms out in front of you. If you have some limited shoulder mobility, you can also grab opposite elbows and wiggle your elbows out towards the front of your mat. Keep your hips high, and on an exhale, start to sink your chest down towards the earth for puppy pose. On your inhale, slowly walk your hands back up. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up and back, down dog. On your inhale, come forward, plank pose. This time, option to lower halfway or all the way down to your belly. Inhale, lift up baby cobra or upward facing dog, yogi's choice. And as you exhale, shift up and back to downward facing dog, any way that makes the most sense for you. Do it all on the other side. On an inhale, stretch your left leg up and back. Exhale, bend your left knee, stack your left hip on top of your right, and open up through the front of that left hip. Same thing here. Try to keep your weight evenly distributed between both hands. Keep your shoulders evenly distributed as well, or the weight distributed there. You don't want to go too much into that right hand. An option to circle through the left ankle a couple times each direction. As you inhale, reach the left leg up and back. As you exhale, bring your left foot forward, whatever way makes most sense. Lower your right knee down to the earth. Option to pad that right knee if you'd like. On an inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. As you exhale, right arm comes forward, left arm comes back to come to your twist. So arms are in a T. Chest turns open towards your front leg, that left leg. An option to stay here, or bring your left hand to your right thigh and stretch your right arm up and back for a baby back bend. Breathe here. You inhale, slowly come back to center, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. And this is where you can invite in your blocks or your books beneath your hands, or you can get up on fingertips. Inhale here in your low lunge. Exhale, hip shift back, left leg straightens, ground your left heel, toes flex back. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, shift back, half splits. 3 more times. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, hip shift back, half split. Inhale, come forward, low lunge. Exhale, shift your hips back, half split. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come back to your low lunge. Tuck your back toes under. Option to lift your back knee or keep it landed as you stretch your arms up over your head. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Draw your chest down towards your thighs. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms sweep back, chest comes towards your thigh. One more inhale. And exhale, chest towards your thigh. Inhale, arms stretch up overhead. As you exhale, both hands come to the inside of your left foot. Same option to widen that left foot towards the left side of your mat. Keep your knee lifted or lower your knee down as you come into lizard pose. All the same options are available on this side to stay or to deepen. No right or wrong way to do this pose. It depends on where your body is at today. The most important part here and in any pose is that you can breathe. Your breath is still nice and deep, nice and fluid. And go ahead, come on up if you've come forward. Swing the left leg back. Come back to your neutral tabletop and then come back to puppy pose. Option for arms to be extended or hands come to opposite elbows as you drop your chest down towards the earth. As you inhale, slowly come up, back to table. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back, down dog. On your inhale, come forward to plank. Lower halfway or all the way down. And you can come through upward facing dog or cobra. And then shift your hips up and back to downward facing dog when you're ready. Your next inhale, make your way into a forward fold. So hands come back, feet come forward, or some combination. So you inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold in. So you inhale, come all the way up to stand. Stretch both arms up over your head. As you exhale, palms come through to your heart. And open your fingers wide for Lotus Mudra, Padma Mudra. Connect back to your joy. Notice what's happening within you. Now exhale, release your hands down by your side. All right, we're going to do something funky here. This is something I learned in a yoga for depression video, so hopefully it'll help you to feel joyous. You can laugh at yourself. It's supposed to be kind of silly. It's kind of like that thing where you try to pat your head and rub your belly, whatever it is. So we're going to do something called opposite direction windmills with the arms. It's going to help to open the shoulders as well. So I like to start with one arm going backwards a few times just to get that motion. And while that arm's going backwards, try to make your other arm move forward. So we're going the opposite directions. I always get a lot of weird looks during this one. This is something I've done for years, so my body has finally been able to make the connection, but it took a while, I promise. All right, slowly come back to center, and then we'll switch arms. So start with the opposite arm going backwards. And then when you're ready, make your other arm go forwards. I hope you all are laughing. Even though I'm recording this prior to me actually doing the physical practice, I know I'll probably be laughing here, so it's silly. All right, then come back to center. Inhale, stretch both arms up overhead. If you're not at the top of your mat, come there now. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. And exhale, step back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, step your right foot through between your hands. Spin on your back foot, so your back outer edge of your foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Cartwheel the arms up as you come into Warrior 2. Make sure that your front knee is tracking out towards your pinky toe. Really root down through the outer corner of your left foot. And those left toes can even be turned in just a smidge. As you inhale, flip your right palm up towards the sky. As you exhale, lean up and back, Peaceful Warrior. Left hand comes down your left leg as your right arm reaches back. Inhale, come up, Warrior 2. Exhale, right forearm to your thigh. Left arm stretches towards the top of your mat. Side angle pose. Inhale, come up, Warrior 2. Exhale, come back, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, right forearm to thigh. Left arm stretches up towards the top of your mat. Side angle. One more each pose. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. And exhale, side angle. Inhale, come back, Warrior 2. Straighten through your right leg. Turn your right toes towards the long edge of your mat. And then spin on your left heel so your left toes turn towards the back of your mat. So we're in Warrior 1 on the left side. Same check-ins. Check in with the knee. Make sure it's tracking out towards your pinky toe. And root down through the outer corner of that right foot. On your inhale, flip the left palm up. Exhale, right hand comes down to your right leg. Left arm stretches back, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, left forearm to your thigh. Right arm stretches up towards the top of your mat, side angle. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, Peaceful Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. Exhale, side angle pose. And now spin your left toes back towards the long edge of your mat so both feet are parallel. And then either step or hop your feet together and come back to the top of your mat. Bring your hands back to Lotus Mudra. Exhale, release your arms. Inhale, stretch both arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, step back, plank pose. And then lower yourself all the way down onto your belly. Once there, prop yourself up on your forearms. Take a moment in Sphinx Pose. Elbows are right beneath your shoulders or slightly forward. Palms press into the earth as you widen through your collarbones. It's almost like you're drawing your elbows back, dragging them back so your heart can shine through the gates of your arms. And bend your right knee so your foot faces up towards the sky. And roll towards your left side. And place your right foot on the ground outside of your left knee, a few inches away, about hips width distance. And then come onto the palm of your left hand, fingers point back. Press into the tip toes of your right foot, so lift your heel. Press into your left hand, your right toes, and the outside of your left foot as you lift your hips high towards the sky for Wild Thing. Extend your right arm back behind you, overhead towards the earth. Nice heart opener. Stay if this feels good. As you exhale, gently lower your hips back to the earth. Roll onto your belly. And take a moment, elbows out to the side, palms stack on top of the other, forehead rest down. And then we'll switch. So come back on to forearms. And bend your left knee so your foot faces up towards the sky. Roll onto your right side and place your left foot on the ground, hips width distance away from your right knee. Come on to the palm of your right hand, fingers point back. Press into your toes on your left foot and the outside of your right foot as you lift your hips up towards the sky. Continue to breathe. And then exhale, gently lower your hips back down, come back down onto your belly. And then extend your right arm out into a half T. Arm comes right out from your shoulder, palm face down. Left hand is beneath your left shoulder. Start to roll onto your right arm. So roll onto that right shoulder. Your chest is going to face towards the left. You can either stay partially on your belly. You can stack your left leg on top of your right. Or you can bend your left knee and place your left foot behind your right leg as you come into little wing. Exhale, roll back onto your belly. We'll switch to the other side. The left arm extends out to the side, right out from the shoulder, palm faces down. Right elbow is bent, right hand is beneath your shoulder. And roll onto that left arm, left shoulder. Chest faces out towards the right. Same options with the bottom half of the body. You can stay partially on the hip bones. You can stack right leg on top of the left. Or you can bend your right knee and place your right foot outside of your left leg, behind it, I should say. And then exhale, gently release. Make your way back to tabletop. And then lift your hips up and back for downward facing dog. As you exhale, gently lower your knees to the earth and shift your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. If your forehead doesn't connect with the earth, you can always grab a block or one of your books, maybe two, place it beneath your forehead. You also have the option to stack your fists one on top of the other, or palms on top of the other to rest your forehead down on. And bring to mind, again, one thing that you're grateful for. Maybe it's the same thing as at the beginning of practice. Maybe it's something new. And then as you inhale, lift yourself back up to downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg up and back. As you exhale, draw your right knee behind your right wrist, right ankle towards the left side of your mat, left wrist, for Pigeon Pose. Tuck your back toes under. You might need to walk your leg a bit further back behind you. The closer your right foot is to your inner thigh, the less intense it's going to be. I want you to take a nice floint in your foot. So point your toes to start, your foot to start, but then flex your toes back. Either stay uplifted here in pigeon, or you can fold forward. Again, maybe you take your blocks, place it under your forehead. Maybe you stack your fists or your hands. Try to relax your jaw and breathe into your hip. And if you folded forward, gently start to lift back up. Slowly make your way back to downward facing dog, any way that makes most sense to you. You can lift that right leg up and back once more, give it a good shake, or you can stack your hips on top of the other as we did earlier in practice. And come back to down dog. Inhale as your left leg lifts up and back. And as you exhale, set up for pigeon on the other side. And same thing here. You want to floint that foot. So left foot will point, whole thing, but then flex your toes back. I know it's funky, it's weird. It's going to help to protect your ankle and your knee in this kind of unusual position. We don't often come to this type of pose unless we're in yoga. Same options to stay uplifted or fold forward. I like keeping my back toes tucked under. Maybe it's just me. You can try it untucked if that feels okay. Once you get into your shape, relax your jaw and breathe. And inhale, slowly start to rise. If you came forward. And then in your own way, own time, make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Same options to lift the left leg up and back. Give it a wiggle, give it a wag. You can stack the hips once again. And then release that left leg. Gently lower your knees to the earth once more. And spread your knees as wide as you can. Toes come together to touch. Sit your hips back. Child's pose once more. And then lift back up, tabletop. Knees come back beneath your hips. Extend your right leg out towards the right. Toes can either point towards the top of your mat or they can point out in the direction of your leg. And cat paw your hands back. Lift your trunk to come into gate pose. Your right hand will come down your right leg as your left arm stretches up and overhead. Nice side stretch here. As you inhale, lift up. Exhale, left hand comes down, right arm stretches up and overhead, other direction. And inhale, lift your trunk back up. Switch out your legs to come to the other side, whatever way makes most sense for you. Take the same time and care to set up. And when you're ready, left hand comes down your left leg, right arm stretches up overhead towards the left, side stretch. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, right hand down, left arm stretches up and overhead. And then inhale, come back up. As you exhale, release your hands back down. Come back to your neutral tabletop. Sit your hips back towards your heels and swing your legs out in front of you as you come to sit. Your knees bent, feet to the floor. And then gently lower down onto your back. Once there, you can hug your knees into your chest. Either knees can come to your chest or your knees can come wider, whichever makes most sense to you, and rock a bit from side to side. Maybe make some little circles on your low back. And then as you exhale, release your feet to the floor with your knees bent. And shift your hips over towards the right a few inches. Release them back to the floor. And allow your knees to fall to the left for a supine twist. You can extend your arms out into a T, into cactus arms. You can keep your gaze upward towards the sky, or you can look over the right shoulder. On your inhale, come back up. Bring your hips back to neutral. Take a full deep inhale here. Exhale out the mouth. And we'll shift to the other side. Hips go towards the left a couple inches as your knees fall to the right. Supine twist. Same options with your arms and with the neck. Breathe in this twist. And then inhale, come back up. Shift your hips back to neutral. Draw your knees into your chest once more. This time we will widen the knees out towards the sides of the torso. Draw your knees towards your armpits. Flex your feet up towards the sky for happy baby pose. Grab hold of any part of the leg, ankle, or foot. Option to stay in stillness or explore movement. Inhale, draw your knees back together. And as you exhale, release your feet to the floor with your knees bent. And connect the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to come wide for reclined butterfly. Now, if this is too intense, you can either shift your heels further away from your inner thighs, or you can skip this altogether and come into Shavasana. Whichever pose feels best, and feel free to switch into, full Shavasana midway through our time of rest together. If that's what serves you best. Bring one hand to your heart, the other to rest on top of that. Take a moment to thank yourself for making time for this practice, for making time for movement, for making time for joy. And thank your body for all that it does and for all that it could do for you in this practice today. So yoga asks one simple thing of us: to show up in mind, body, and spirits. And yoga doesn't just lift our spirits, it lifts our lives. It opens our eyes to the essence of who we are, and therein lies peace and happiness. So does who we are, where this peace and happiness resides. And by being who we are, unapologetically, we can find the space for joy. begin to deepen your breath. So you make your way back to your physical body. Start by wiggling through your fingers, through your toes. Maybe roll through your wrists, through your ankles. Maybe gently rock your head from side to side. Take a nice full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead, your legs out long. And then, in your own time, make your way on to your favorite side. Take a few breaths to pause there. Whenever you're feeling ready, you can make your way up into a comfortable seat. Once seated, bring your hands back into your Lotus Mudra, Padma Mudra. Start to inquire. Does your heart feel lighter? Do you feel more joyful? Do you feel any of the heaviness, any of the grief has lifted? And draw your hands into prayer, Anjali Mudra. Bow your chin down towards your chest. Seal in our practice together. As Alex L. once said, you can be positive, happy, and grateful, and still have not so good, awful, or off days. Say yes to thinking good thoughts, but also say yes to acknowledging and feeling your feelings. You don't have to pretend, and you don't have to be perfect. But you can come back to this practice anytime that you are seeking more joy. Thank you all for allowing me to guide you today. The light in me honors and bows to the light that shines from within each and every one of you. Namaste. I appreciate you all, and I hope to see you all in person very soon. My love, my thoughts go out to you and all of your loved ones. Stay healthy, stay safe.